how did you get started in this in the first place?
It was really just kind of an idea with a group of friends, like in college, actually. So I had wanted to formulate like a lotion or chapstick with one buddies down the hall, and it was a couple of weeks before the end of freshman year had let out. So week of coming up to week of finals, I had started doing like some preliminary research on like packaging and bees at university. I was at Loyola Chicago at the time. I wanted to open like a rooftop, like a beehive type of thing. Like
Is that right?
Yeah, like an
Okay.
urban bee center, because obviously you can get your beeswax from local or commercial scale bee farms, or if you go out to somewhere like Wisconsin, somebody just might have a big farm or a field where they keep bees, or some people keep them in the back of their houses. But obviously living in the city, you couldn't really do that. We don't really have like a yard or a garden or house.
And you grew up out there?
I did not. I grew up in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin,
Yes,
okay.
correct. So
Okay.
I was born in Michigan and then grew up in Wisconsin, went to college in Chicago.
Got the whole tour of the East Coast, Central America, and then came out here
Yeah, exactly.
to Vegas in the first place.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
But yeah.
okay. So you had a buddy of yours that you wanted to make like lotion or lip balm with. Whose idea was this? Like where did this come from?
Random, being
just like,
young, just like I want to try to sell something. Let's try to make something. We're bored in our dorms. We're drinking at night, or we're going out and doing whatever. Like, we got all this free time outside of being in class, but you can only study for so much of your time. So figured why not try something a little bit different.
Yeah. Let's set the stage on this. So this is what year when the idea comes to you of like, hey, let's mess around and make some lotion or some lip balm or something?
2019.
2019. So
Yeah.
pre-pandemic.
Yep.
You're just in school in Chicago. And a little bit bored, drinking and thinking, oh, lip balm.
Yeah, there was really no rhyme or reason. It's not like I did. It was like, how did you, decide on, eco-friendly lip balm? Like, what research were you doing? I wasn't doing any. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's strange because it's like, were you a chapstick user at that point?
My dad had always made me use like Carmex or Blistex, whatever, and it just was, my lips were dry as a child, and just like I feel like any others, but it wasn't just like this. My lips are extremely dry, or like I wanted to cure chapped lips. Obviously, I do want to now, alongside of the mission that we're trying to build at Kobe's, but it was more of a small product, something that we can manufacture pretty easily and simply, probably in our dorm room. It takes not limited knowledge, but I mean, it's a little bit more focused and something that we know we could achieve, like, while being here with limited funds. Because at the time, I was broke college and I didn't have any money.
Broke in college.
Yeah.
And I'm going to dig into being broke and building all of this too. But I think for a lot of people who get random inspiration, they do things like they watch Shark Tank and they go, oh man, I should invent something. I should come up with something too. You're just drinking in college and coming up with business ideas, not playing video games. It's like, let's make some chapstick instead, which is distinct. Why are you that way? Like, what was going on?
I feel like I've always been kind of like, once I like something or want to focus on something, I kind of like go all in on it. And going back to your point of Shark Tank, I used to watch Shark Tank all the time growing up, and you see the most random products on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And it's like, why didn't I think of that? Or this is so simple. Like, this almost seems stupid, and they're making a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I feel like, don't try to spend so much time, like it has to be this perfect idea. Just like figure out how to get it made. Can you sell it? And if you can, then maybe do a little bit more research and then kind of go down that way. You don't have to put so much pressure on trying to build this huge thing from the ground up. And that's kind of how I saw it as. I was like, I can make a cool lip balm, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm not really losing anything here. I get the skills to gain to try to build a business or build a product, sell a product. And that's kind of how I think about things. I try to think about them as more like a learning experience than really something that you fail or succeed at type of thing, I guess.
Sure. And your lip balm, you've got 4 main ingredients that you put in your lip balm. Is that where you started in the dorm room with those ingredients and you just iterated to a different percentage going into it now, or is this way off the wall from where you started?
It was a little bit different off the wall. So once I initially got that first idea, we came up with the name like another night later, and just hanging out with some friends in the room. They were like, you should call it Kobe's. Thought it was amazing.